They're trying to hook you. They're looking for that. There's all strategies. You have individuals that go to school, and there's a lot of psychology behind this the target marketing, and they're looking for that. They want emotional buyers, and so you're going to go out there and you're going to buy this product, and it's not the healthiest product. Now, getting back to the taste.
Right.
Unfortunately, you want to eat foods that have a very low glycemic index. Low glycemic index are very good for you, and the type of sugar, it's a very complex sugar. It enters your bloodstream at a very slow rate. It keeps your body, because there's a whole process that you feel like you're full and you don't need to eat. Or snack, I should say, not eat, but snack in between meals. This will help control your blood sugar. It will also help control your insulin, because you don't get those spikes like you do with the simple carbohydrates and those fruit drinks and those quick little snacks. What happens is you eat, and then you spike, your insulin goes sky high to keep up with your blood sugar, and then it drives it into the cells real quick. And what happens is you get your body senses, this is all biochemistry. Your body senses that your blood sugar is dropping real quick, and what happens? A signal gets sent to your brain, eat more, and it becomes a vicious cycle. Right. So what happens is you go, well, should I have that apple or candy bar? Well, the candy bar tastes sweeter, so you can eat the candy bar, and the vicious cycle starts all over again. Right. Or you go for the can of soda or the fruit drink. Yes, you get that quick rush of sugar, but you start the vicious cycle all over again. Your sugar spikes, insulin follows, and then it drops down, and you're hungry again. And you could map this out, like every 35, 40 minutes. Your blood sugar goes up and it drops down, and what happens is you're looking for a snack again. But if you eat complex carbohydrates with a low glycemic index, you don't have those peaks and valleys. You have a very slow increase of sugar, and your body's able to keep up with it, and you feel full. Your body's not craving, and you don't have to snack in between meals.
Right. So that's very interesting. That they don't know that good feeling that they get is only temporary.
It's temporary, yes.
You see, and what you want is to sustain good feeling.
Right.
Now, how does this obesity affect your learning habits?
Oh boy. Well, you lead through example, and if your leaders are obese, these are your role models, you're going to think this is appropriate. But we know, and I'm going to tie this in with exercise, because this is where we know statistically those children that exercise have a tendency to do much better in their academics. Why? It's not the exercise, it's the discipline that makes them dedicated. It's not the, I play sports. Well, no, it's the dedication and discipline behind it. You must be dedicated. Once you're dedicated, you start exercising, you right away you want to start eating healthy. I mean, some people that exercise and they have poor eating habits. But if you become intense about what you do, you become dedicated, then everything else falls into place. This intensity, this discipline and dedication will carry over into your academics, because you start to look at things differently. You have a greater appreciation of what you're doing, and it also carries over into your family and everything what you do. Right. You start to appreciate what you have. You have self-respect. Your self-esteem improves, because when you look at yourself, you say, "Oh, I look better in my clothes. I'm also able to perform better at work. I'm also able to perform in other activities within the household." You want to go out and spend quality time with your children? Well, if you have a belly and you're fatigued, you can only walk a block, well, you're really not going to be able to...
That's right, to enjoy each other, right.
Yeah.
Let's go to the amusement park, and then halfway through, we're ready to go home.
Right. And this is another way to spend quality time with your family. The whole family can get involved with some simple activities. Brisk walk, power walk, a stroll. The whole family can go. You can go here. We're fortunate in the Bronx. You can go to Orchard Beach. It's summertime. Summertime's here, because we're late spring. Summer's, right around the corner. So what you do is you take quality time, you can go to Orchard Beach and do a family walk. Enjoy quality time with your family. If you're not able to go to Orchard Beach, there are other parks in the Bronx, because we have a lot of parks in the Bronx. You have Van Cortlandt, Morris Park. There's so many parks that, or walking paths within the Bronx where you can spend quality time. If you can't afford a gym, that's understandable, because it could be expensive. Not everyone has the finances, but everyone can go out and walk in a park. That's free, so there's no excuses for not walking with your family. And you want a brisk walk, and when you do walk, we're talking 50 minutes. You really want to spend good quality time. Really get that heart rate up. And you can talk, just spend quality time with your family.
Now, as a physician,
yes,
what do you suggest to people? Because some folk only go to the doctor when something's wrong.
Right.
And that's usually too late.
Yes.
Or it's not too late, maybe in some cases, but it's difficult to reach to change it. What do you say to a person in this area with their children, and you see them putting on weight, or and you might should you be concerned and take them and get them checked out?
Absolutely. Really good point, because the weight gain could be pathological. It's not necessarily the amount of input is greater than the output, meaning the caloric intake is higher than your actual exercise level. There could be actually some pathology that's causing your child to put on weight, like hypothyroidism. Or you can have diabetes. You have adolescent diabetes. Typically type 1, they're very thin, but you can have weight issues with type 1 diabetes. But there's other pathology. That was just a name too. But definitely you should go in. Everyone should go in for an annual history and physical, just to get a baseline. Every year, have a history and physical, get a baseline, and then if you have a clean bill of health, then you go out and you exercise. Spend quality time with your family. If your child is putting weight on, history and physical. If everything's normal, the tests are normal, and your child is starting to gain weight, you want to go in for some sort of counseling. You have behavioral counseling. You also should nutritional counseling. The whole entire family should go in for that. Sit down and you bring in, because I have a master in nutrition, so I'll say, well, bring in example food products. And you also have to know how to read the labels, the canned labels on the back of the cans. If you have an understanding, I always say knowledge is power. If you can read those labels, then you know what's good or bad products.
You're saying that, and I know we're coming to a close, but I was in ShopRite, and I saw this sale on. It was something. It really looked good. It was shrimp and potatoes. It was like it was frozen.
Right.
And I took and turned it over, and I looked at the sodium, because I have to watch sodium at my age, and it said 40%. I just threw the bag down.
Right.
As a matter of fact, it scared me to death when I saw it said 40% sodium.
Right.
I said, what's this? If somebody's not watching that they can get destroyed.
Right, exactly. That's a good point with the sodium.
It looked good though. It was beef and I mean, it looked good. And potatoes and then it had one with shrimp, and then it had one with I mean, it looked good. I said, oh, this is something I go take home and enjoy.
Right.
And I turned the package over, and I saw 40% sodium and also 25% cholesterol.
Right. Well, that's why it tastes good. Well, the sodium is a preservative, and it helps kill bacteria, and that's been around for a very, very long time. 2,000, 3,000 years have been using salt to help kill bacteria. But the problem with sodium is it's not healthy for you. I mean, we need salt. Believe me, we need sodium, we need salt in our bodies, because that is part of the physiological functions. However, if you take in too much, then it starts to lead to problems. Like you can develop edema. I always tell everyone, my patients, salt is like a magnet, and a magnet to water. So wherever sodium goes, water follows. So we can, become bloated, swelling. Some of the women out there, the women viewers, still understand what I'm talking about, because especially right before they have their menses, their period, they'll say, "Oh, my fingers are swelling because my rings are getting tight." Well, if you have a high sodium diet, you're going to swell. And I'll give you another example for individuals who have congestive heart failure, CHF. After Thanksgiving, we know statistically, we graph this out, anywhere between 1 to 2 days after Thanksgiving,
right.
because of the high sodium, they're going to have an acute exacerbation of congestive heart failure, meaning they're having fluid build up
Right.
in their heart and eventually back into their lungs. We know this,
Right,
So
right.
just because you're a child, this can affect the child as well.
Right,
And they
sure.
start developing hypertension at a very young age. I mean, you should never see, a child, 6, 12, 15, an adolescent with hypertension. It's
right.
something, it's a new phenomenon. All right. Well, we have two I'm getting a 2-minute signal here.
Right,
So
this has been great. I want to thank you for bringing this information as a pastor, and I say that to the other pastors out there, that you got to be concerned about your people beyond the spiritual, beyond just preaching to them. You got to look around your congregation and say, am I educating them correctly? Am I doing the right thing? When half of my congregation is obese and the sisters in the church are all running 200 pounds and fine, they can sing in the choir. Sometimes it amazes me. I look at certain gospel choirs and I say, my God, half of them are overweight.
Right.
That's great, but we're not talking about jolly, nice people. We're talking about unhealthy people.
Right.
And I feel that the pastors, I say to you, and religious leaders or deacons or whoever is out there, be concerned. Take this information that you've gotten and pass it on and do something. Start a Walking Well in your program, and we'll help you to set that up. But I want to thank you for really enlightening me as I sit here asking you these questions. These are the questions that I've been enlightened with the answers. Thank you.
All right. I just want to go over one quick statement, and this is going to blow you away.
Right.
Statistically, they have studies. 30% of all the schools do not offer physical education. That's unheard of. 100% of the schools should be offering physical education. I'm talking about gym class, and a really active gym class. Like growing up, we had kickball, we had dodgeball, we had baseball, softball, basketball. They're not offering that. And then those schools who do offer that, it's a very non-active type of physical education. I hear the games they play. I said, well, you got to work up a sweat. You got to burn those calories. All right, so I got to close out this show. Well, Bishop, I want to thank you for being part of the show, and again, offering me the opportunity for the Dr. Tomio show. Well, viewers, I want to thank you for allowing us to enter your homes and offer this information. Please get involved, be proactive. If you want to volunteer, call Bishop Burkett at Church Life Community Church. That phone number will be on the screen. We also will put the links so you can get some of this information. You can see the statistics. It'll just blow you away, and it's sad because it's at epidemic levels. We need to be proactive and make a difference.
And they can watch the program on the YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can watch this on YouTube. And one last thing, if you want to see the cyberbullying shows, you can go to youtube.com /user/Dr. Tomio. That will bring you to my channel. If you're not sure, just put in Ask Dr. Tomio or Dr. Tomio, and then you just have to pick the shows, and you can see all the shows we've done over the last 5 years. So again, Bishop, thank you.
You're welcome.
Remember, stay alive with Church Alive. God bless.